and here's the thing too. What we found with USL2 moving from NPSL is that it's a totally different animal. Like, there's talent on every single team. We ran into sometimes in the NPSL where there's that lopsided 7-0 victory.
Yeah.
Or 5-1. But in the USL2, the quality's all there, and it's top to bottom. So you may go into the beginning of the season in that first run through of teams, and you might see a team that doesn't necessarily have a great record through that first pass through one, but then makes a playoff push after when you play them on the second return legs.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's so interesting about this league is the movement of players at the beginning and the end. Looking at RKC, though, historically, they've been able to recruit some really top players, and looking at the background of the guys they have on the field right now, great background, and they look big, tall, and strong like usual, John.
Yeah, restocking the shelves, Dan. Well, we like to say it's 43 degrees and partly sunny, it says, but I think it's 60 and not a cloud in the sky.
It is a beautiful day here in Minneapolis, and sun shining, not too hot, crowd filtering in. This is going to be a fun game.
Yep, and I'd like to thank RKC for doing the one thing that we really appreciate is do not have yellow numbers on yellow jerseys. Nice bright yellow jerseys with blue, and we are off. The 2025 season has been kicked off, folks.
A lot of new faces in the Crows team here today. John, who are you looking forward to as far as a new face the most in this starting 11?
I haven't had a chance, Dan, to typically dip into training as much, but I really, really liked what I saw from Cole Schrage, number 3, the outside left defender for Minneapolis City. Just very, very smart in picking out the runs that he makes from the outside of the 3 center backs. And also, how do you not love a brand new striker, Preston Kipnusu?
Oh, absolutely. That's a free kick given up by Ondeki Maina on Jaden Prado.
It looked as if he might have had, Andy might have had position there, but it's the beginning of the season for the refs too.
That's true.
Look at the sun potentially in Meyer's eyes here.
We got Pendleton and Reyes Parra standing over the ball for RKC.
A lot of movement inside that box. Ball whipped in.
Oh, Meyer drops it. Oh, and that's an early goal. Nolan Meyer bobbles the ball, and that's buried quickly by RKC. They go up 1-0 in the second minute.
Well, not necessarily the start you want to have, obviously, but it looked as if Meyer had this comfortably caught.
Yeah, just slipped on it, unfortunately. And
90 seconds in, RKC 1, Minneapolis City 0. Luckily, Dan, it's only been 90 seconds in.
That's true. There's a lot of
soccer left.
A lot of soccer left. That was number 5, John Wanschneider, the center back, who backheeled that one in after Meyer dropped the ball.
Now let's see if the Crows can settle themselves here. A little confusion between Meyer and Nick Kent there.
On over the top, looking for Sibe Rule. He gets boxed out by Obilo, tries to drive forward. That's some good, I mean, you love to see a little bit of aggression after you give up a little bit of a surprising goal like that.
And you'll see there's some gentlemen wearing white caddy outfits at the corners. Noonan Golf has sponsored caddies at the corners here for the beginning of the season.
I love that sport crossover.
I do. It makes actually total sense to me.
100%.
We look at the rangefinders out. Try to help out the home squad here.
RKC already taking their time over a goal kick.
Great collection by Kirsch.
Kirsch puts it just over the top for Kipnusu, runs a little bit long, but that's some good, attacking intent early.
Really good job of starting the press there for Kipnusu. He covered about 25 yards there to force RKC backwards.
A little bit of a miscommunication there between Tawa and Shragi. That's Prado attacking on Mina. Nice cross in.
Good block.
Shragi with the block. Hacked away.
Good clearance. I mean,
Mina's going to have his hands full with Prado there on the wing.
Dunga had a lot of space there to bring the ball down.
Back out to Prado. Garcia can't get it away. Falls to Shaw. He can't find Bechtel. It's choppy early here for the Crows.
Yeah, you know, a little preseason jitters here, or early season jitters, I should say.
That goes long, looking for Junga.
Unlucky touch there for CB Rule.
Good pressure by Kirsch. But Pinto's able to turn out of it. And that's a CB Rule fouled.
I like to see the tracking back from the wingers. And when you're playing in a 3-5-2, that those two positions on the left and right wing are very, very important.
Yeah, and especially like you said in this system. Garcia gets himself out of trouble and swung over to Shragi.
Tyler, why doesn't
Good patient play from the Crows.
City have a powdered energy drink sponsor that?
Big over the top looking for Kipnusu on one. Schneider.
A powdered
He's forced to clear at full stretch.
It's a big, quick body.
I mean, the two of them together, those are big boys.
It's like Mena swapping sides here to take the throw in. Potentially, we have a secret weapon here.
You know, ever since Nick Hutton, we've missed a long throw expert. It's a nice one. Gets over Nick Kent's head and Kipnusu's as well.
Kipnusu maybe got a shove there.
Garcia looking for Kipnusu. Not quite where he wanted it to be, but he gets a thumbs up from the big man.
As we talk about lower league soccer, Dan, I look right in front of me and I see Joey Tawa, Bernardo CB Rule, and Jonah Garcia. Something unique with those three players that they were in the starting 11 in our first USL game 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, that type of longevity, that's unusual. Oh, the goalie gets himself in a little bit of trouble there. Tries to buy a foul off Bechtel. He does get it away. Prado controls.
Early yellow card.
Wow.
Yeah, if you ask me.
Yeah, Pendleton defended the ball well, but yeah, referee was quick for that yellow.
You typically don't see a yellow card with a player's first foul, but there we go. Pretty early.
It is early, and like you said, you know, these first couple of games where the players are still getting used to each other, still getting used to the coaches, you know, you're going to have some bumps. City's taken theirs early, but RKC escaped, you know, and here's our goalkeeper again. Loose touch, found himself a little bit of trouble, but he's able to get away. Shraga's in a foot race. which he wins against Jethro.
Oh, great hold-up play by Nusu.
Whoa, and he's taken down hard by Weinschneider. And that's a pretty deserved yellow, given how the referee's calling this one. So it's a yellow card to the goal scorer. Looks like John Weinschneider.
A lot of action here in 9 minutes, folks.
There has been a lot happening. And this is the preseason. It's just still a little bit loose from both sides. That keeps you on your toes as a fan. Bechtel can't get to it.
But look at the hustle for him to get back in.
That's a good ball from Jethro finding Junga.
At least I know for the Crows, I can't speak for RKC, but there's still quite a few players that have not made their way into the camp fully for the Crows. So you also have that too, where maybe you have some players that are potentially playing a little bit outside where from a strength perspective you want them to be.
Oh, that's a good point, John.
Okay,
nice win there.
Rule.
Looking in for Kipnusu, can't find it. Prado on the counterattack.
Great ball.
Interns?
Mena looking to find Kipnusu there. Look as if the Crows had won the throw in there, but the fourth official says that did come off of Kipnusu. Shruggy with the clearance. Bechtel battling there. RKC with a good bout of possession here, kind of slowing things down. Ball into Dunga in a foot race with Kent. Great step in by Nick Kent. Garcia stepping in there. Dangerous ball by Dunga. Really good back and forth battle there between number 24, Nick Kent, and number 9, Bienvenu Dunga. As if the Crows are opting for more of a zonal marking system here on the corner. Kirsch opts to get the clearance out and reset the lines. '12th minute, RKC won on an early goal by John Wandenschneider. Pinto doing a nice bit of movement there. But the Crows aren't out of it yet. Garcia doing a really great job of battling back there.
That Nick Pendleton, that was the RKC attacker there. He's looking sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. Garcia did a really good job not biting on the double scissors there.
RKC's found a lot of luck coming down their left side with Prado, Pendleton, and they've had, Umanga and Junga really kind of shifting across the front.
Well, I think what's happening here as the ball comes in, Nick Kent with
Headed
the
away by
clearance.
Kent.
I think what's happening here for the Crows is that they haven't really been able to establish their possession. It's been a lot of 1-2 pass into space versus to feet. And RKC has had a pretty decent high line.
That was a nice block from Mena. RKC still with it. RKC has the luxury of being patient with the ball.
The lead.
They are pressed high into the city half. But Wanschneider sends that one to St. Paul, and it's a city throw.
Yeah, Mena can throw the ball far. Jeez.
He sure can. Tough bounce by Bechtel, but Jackson Kirsch gets it off to Kipnusu. Finds Bechtel on the attack, but Wanschneider, nice job defensively. He does move quickly for how big he is.
And that was probably your brightest link-up play for the Crows yet.
No, you're absolutely right. All started with Kirsch winning the ball, quickly finding Kipnusu, who had a minute to calm it.
Long throw by Mena.
Oh, that goes long, and it finds Kirsch. Kirsch lets it drop. His shot. He's going to want that one back. It just dribbles in for a save by Diana. That's City's first shot so far today, though, and a good statement of intent.
Yeah, he definitely didn't get his foot through this one. Great touch, though, to bring it down. In there, he tried to kind of place it with the outside or the inside of his foot. There, you kind of want him to just put your foot right through it.
Yeah, it looks like perhaps in that crowd he was shooting through, someone got a little bit of a touch on it.
Great turn by Dunga.
Oh, and that's through to Pendleton. Asibe rules over. Nice defense there. He came a long way from that wingback position. Mine's in trouble. Shragi's there. Can't quite find Shaw.
Oh, Kipnusu, unlucky there.
Back out to Prado for RKC.
The front three of Dunga, Pendleton, and our favorite name, Jethro Umanji, really good interchanging of positions and off-the-ball movement.
No, you're absolutely right. As we see Junga come back for the ball, Bechtel shut down by Matisse Chrétien. He's come out of the Montreal Impact, or whatever they're called now, Montreal MLS system.
I think he nailed it.
All pressure by Junga. He finds Kipnusu. Kipnusu pulled down by Von Schneider.
That has to be a yellow card, right?
He's already on a yellow.
Yeah.
So the referee's calm on that one, but that looked like a yellow card for me. If he's on that turn, he's through on goal. Referee not as brave as perhaps the moment demanded.
I mean, if you're going to go early to the book, that's got to be consistent, right?
I mean, that's all we ask for referees is just call it consistently.
We watched a good, 2 hours, Dan, of set pieces this week? So,
we sure did.
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I think we might know what's happening right here. Justin Oliver is just giving it to the fourth official right now. And I agree with him.
I have to agree with him, too. You pull a forward down when he'd be through on goal. You had two other defenders, so it's definitely not a straight red, but how do you not book? That's a professional foul there.
Yep. Kirsch on target. Ooh.
Just over the top.
But here's the thing. Love the hold-up play by Kipnusu.
Absolutely. He's bringing a new dimension. Because we did have we've had Hakeem Morgan, great target man, but Kipnusu much pacier, much more willing, as you see it right now, to really start to spring the press. Look at them, just right on Diana. Falls to Shaw. He has to go all the way back to Garcia. Sibe Rule, look at that. He's through. His ball across is cut out.
Nicholas Diana has had some trouble with the ball at his feet early on in this half.
He has. He has been much more lucky than his counterpart, Nolan Meyer. I think we could feel the soul leaving Jethro's body there.
Yeah, he chose one way and Shruggy went the other.
What do you need me to do?
Shaw, great ball, looking for Bechtel. Diana's out quick.
But we kind of knocked Diana on his footwork with the ball, but he is very, very quick off of his line.
He is, and you know, as a former goalkeeper myself, got a lot of respect for that. You got to be brave to play as high as he is.
Yeah, Kipnusu just covers so much ground.
I didn't hear any of that.
Para on the ball.
Okay, sweet.
Wide to Prado.
Great read.
Maine has struggled a little bit with Prado's pace and physicality as CBA Rules came over, and he's had him in his pocket since. Kirsch.
The idea is right. The idea was absolutely right there. And that's the early season things you'll see right there. I mean, just to know that they were on the same page, they even kind of try to combine there, really great.
Nice ball finding Pendleton from Prado. Pendleton.
Oh, good step by Mena.
Maine is still battling.
Ooh,
That's a quick shot there from Amon, but
great save by Nolan Meyer.
yeah,
We get a
Meyer's there.
We get a replay on that. That was great. Ooh. He had some heat behind it.
Yeah, quick reaction, strong hands.
Kipnusu making the long trek back here. Well, unlucky on the clearance for CB Rule. Giving RKC some life in the defensive third here.
Stretch hand pushed backward by Shaw.
21st minute, score still 1-0 to the visitors, RKC.
Long for Prado. Nice touch. Really lovely from Jethro to get past Garcia.
Great block by Tawa.
And back out to Prado, who's really been their danger man so far today.
Garcia again. It's a tough one for a defender. I mean, even though there's a tightrope there on the end line, staying true to your positioning to stop the cutback does leave you exposed to the forward going around you and being in even more of a dangerous position for goalkeeper Nolan Meyer.
Wanschneider gets on the end of that, but all he can do is hit it high. The Crows have struggled a little bit with, dealing with set pieces so far today.
They choose to go with a zonal marking system, and I've never been a big fan of that, Dan, personally. I like there to be man-on-man, everyone have a job.
Okay, cool.
Nice from Ian Shaw. Oh, he looks for, a little bit of confusion between Garcia and the CBA Rule.
To CB Rule and Garcia's credit there, it was equidistant in between both of them.
It was. Good vision from Shaw, who plays college soccer at Notre Dame. And that's offside.
Jethro.
That was Jethro. Just looked like he was about a step offside. Good discipline from the Crows' back line.
We see that replay one more time. Garcia may have left him in. Nope, he wasn't. He was. Sorry, Jonah.
Oh, Garcia, unfortunate with that.
The ideas are there, Dan. It's just fully connecting all of them.
They are. It's been fun to see Ian Shaw as he's kind of directing traffic, playing quickly. Jackson Kirsch, two new midfielders really starting to put their stamp on the play.
Good head back from Nick Kent.
Kipnusu. And he should win a corner kick there. Ooh. The crowd disagrees with that.
The one thing that you worry about is Kipnusu's tank, right? He's asked to track down a lot of these long balls. Also, make the long journey in from a zonal marking perspective on corners to get in and help out. It's early going in the season. You want to make sure that maybe sometimes you're trying to find his feet versus having to have him be in a foot race the whole time. And you're also asking him to be the trigger for your press.
Yeah. It'll be interesting as the season goes on because we've got people like forward Joe Highfield. Ooh, called for offside there. Much better interchange, though, John, like you're saying, and that was Jackson Kirsch who sprung that one.
It's starting. The ideas, like I said, have been there, but it's starting to connect a little bit more. And Bechtel was not far offside there.
A lot of pressure coming from the Crows. RKC doing a nice job dealing with it, you have to say.
That time, Diana made me eat my words. Really good way to get out of the pressure there by the goalkeeper.
Well, he's starting to settle, too. You can see it across both teams.
Yeah. He was out on an island on the 20-yard line earlier. Be a time, Dan, for us to promote some sponsors here. Shout out to our new sponsor, Co-Create. You want to be a better leader? Stop reading self-help books on the toilet and start actually doing something. Co-Create offers personalized coaching that'll get you thinking smarter, leading stronger, and feeling less like an imposter. Check out Co-Create today at growwithcocreate.com. Thank you, Co-Create.
RKC with a really nice spell of possession here. Garcia wins it.
Bechtel dispossessed there.
Prado, but right to Meyer. Meyer does have the sun to deal with at that end, and we've seen that be a challenge in previous seasons for other goalkeepers, but he dealt with it well there.
Ian Shaw got crossed up there.
I'll get you.
Great step in by Nick Kent.
And Nick Kent finds Kirsch. Great defending. And they're up to Kipnus, who's taken down by Von Schneider again.
Looks like we got a red card here.
Oh, the referee declines the yellow.
He was going to his pocket.
He was, and then, I mean, you can see Justin Oliver over the sideline.
He didn't even try to play the ball.
Yet again. And Oliver gets the yellow card. That's crazy because Oliver wasn't the one who hacked down a forward again.
I mean, watch this replay. 0 intent on the ball.
Oh, absolutely none. Just an elbow in the back.
If you're Wanshiner, you're on thin ice right now, and there's a lot of time to play in this game. And I mean, if I'm the coaching staff of RKC, I'm seriously considering looking at, from what's been happening, a potential halftime substitution for him, for sure, maybe even earlier.
You'd think so. You wonder, this referee's shown that he cares about the ticky-tack stuff. Is he going to make the big decision?
I mean, it's been two pretty big ones for the same player.
It has been, but you start to set the expectations, as a referee, and right now you've set the expectation that that's not that big of a deal. That's how games start to change. The complexion of games start to change.
But it should be a big deal, right?
Oh, absolutely it should. Ball in from Tawa. Oh, finds Kipnusu. But he just hits it a little over the bar there.
If you're Kipnusu, I mean, you start to play those mind games now with a guy who's clearly ready to fall into into Lake Minnetonka right now with the referee. I mean, you start to maybe stop short when you're making a run, maybe get some legs tangled up, things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Dunga on the tack. The ball falls. Good shot there by Pinto, but it's wide. Seemed like Meyer had that covered, though.
Yep, he did. Grabbing his back a little bit. I wonder if he fell hard on the beautiful turf here at Edor Nelson Field. Turf sucks to land on, whether it's new or old.
Oh, absolutely. Kent looking for Kipnusu. He's got Chretien and Wannsteiner.
Oh, unlucky first touch.
Seemed like he just lost his balance a little bit there.
Did you see who immediately pulled off the pressure there?
Absolutely. Wannsteiner getting out of the way as Chretien came to cover.
Yeah. Luckily, his friend came to help because he was in another sticky situation potentially.
And it makes sense. Keep putting pressure on him. Bechtel on the ball. He's pushed backwards. Pendleton with a nice tackle.
Oh, nice.
Kerr showing some real quality to get out of that. Oh, mine, I can't quite keep it, though.
I'm liking the connection up front.
Kipnusu, they find him again, looking for Kirsch with that chest down.
No, you cannot call offside there.
Pinto gets that away, and we're going to have another Mina long throw.
I'm really glad the referee did the right decision there. The line judge did signal for offsides, but he was nowhere near affecting the play there.
Yeah. Credit where credit's due for the referees. Like you said, this is early in their season too. Just over Nick Kent. Falls to Kirsch. Kirsch finds Kent to Tawa.
1v1 here.
Mina over the top. Asibe Rule is there. It's awkward. And that gets hacked away by Chretien. I'm sure I'm saying that perfectly.
For what the viewers don't know is the preparation that we have to go into, we do our best, but we don't necessarily get all of the information.
It'd be nice if we got pronunciation guides, but I'm just glad we got the roster today.
Full first and last names.
Also would be nice. There we got the caddies on the corner, helping Joey Tawa with the distance finder. What club would you use for this one, John?
This seems like a scald 7-iron.
Or the top Diana punch. Oh, and the referee calls that as a foul there.
Minneapolis City gives thanks to our another new sponsor, Bryant Lake Bowl and Theater, an uptown institution. Bryant Lake Bowl has plays, concert, improv shows, and of course, banging food, booze, and bowling. All in a kick-ass vintage environment dating back to the 1930s. Check out the menu and show schedule at BryantLakeBowl.com. Love a good Nate Morales written ad read here. Diana taking his time here. What do you think the caddies are telling him?
I think they're probably telling him to pick up the pace of play. Otherwise, the starter is going to get mad at you.
I really teed you up for that one, Dan.
Wannsteiner just gets a foot in front of Kipnusu. This has been a good battle between these two.
It's going to be fun to watch for the rest of the game. Unlucky first touch for Bernard.
There's Prado again. He's turned back. CBA Rules had a strong game, shutting down Prado, who's been so dangerous.
And there was an initial switch by Coach Oliver moving a CB Rule to that side.
Prado with a nice ball to Pinto. Stop by Shragi. Great block there. Bechtel looking for the flick on. Kipnusu gets a better Wannsteiner, but Chretien is there.
Here it comes.
And that's it. He's off. That's the second yellow for Wannsteiner. You have to admit that he earned that red card. And here in the 33rd minute, after he lashed out at Kipnusu, he's off. It could have been 15 minutes earlier, John.
Dude, he just stomped him. How dumb is that? Like, you have to know your situation, right?
I mean, I would have thought that the first couple ones where he could have been sent off. So the Crows down a goal.
Up a
scored
man.
in the second minute are now up a man with an hour to play.
Well, he's got to leave the field of play, so we're probably going to have another 40 minutes of him having to walk around here. I mean, he was
Even if you're not on a yellow, that's something you should not do, let alone in the middle of the field.
Well, I mean, we had a weird early goal, and now a red card in the first half. So what do you think that changes for the mindset from not only the players, but for Coach Oliver? Do you put the pedal down? Do you stick with the process, try to continue to build what you want to build for the season? What do you think here?
I think you stick with the process right now. You know, it was starting to tell a lot of pressure. And you're going to have to see how RKC adjusts. If they're going to be playing deeper, then that means you can get the ball, as we saw right there, Shaw just flicking it over the top for Garcia.
Great
you just
touch.
have to get different angles when you get the ball. How do you get it to Kipnusu? How do you get Kirsch involved? I think we're going to see Ian Shaw with a lot more of the ball at his feet.
I think what you're also going to see is as they're pinning back, you're going to see more room for Schragi and for Garcia in the offensive third.
And we saw last season Garcia used really as an offensive weapon. He had a number of assists. Schragi's cross there, cut out, but it falls to Garcia. CBA rule, but it's over minus head. Schragi finds Kipnusu, but his header is over the bar.
Watching a 3D movie. But if I don't get out of the way, I actually get hurt.
Looks as if there was a substitution made for RKC, bringing out, oh dang it, they brought out Jethro Umanji, and they brought in Gabe and
Anguil.
Oh, unlucky touch there.
And Kent wins it back. Pendleton, he's been good. He finds Anguil out wide.
There's another thing to think about, Dan, for Coach Oliver is what do you do with Tawa on the yellow as we move into the second half here? Is he going to be the first one that makes way to a substitute because of the fact that he's on a yellow and there's already been a red card in this game?
I mean, that's definitely going to be something on his mind. You know, and you could also think about as the
Good touch.
as the game starts to change, what do you need out of that midfield role? We know Tawa's got a great range of passing. But if they sit deeper and deeper, do you need somebody who, you know, can get on the ball and start to break through?
A little more tricky. Great step by Bechtel. I think we're going to see a lot of what you just saw there in this for the rest of this game. It's going to be, if we can't break it down right away, it's long.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you've seen danger in Dunga individually, so why not, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and if you're Diane at the back, and you're getting the pressure that you're getting, having an outlet like Dunga makes sense. You know, use him, maybe you'll get a good bounce.
Oh, Shaw.
Shaw can't quite get through to Bechtel. How out to Schragi. You're right, both Schragi and Garcia, the outside defenders, have been getting a lot more time on the ball.
I think what that leads to is the big diagonal to the, whether it's Zondecki or it's
Diana
the
sends
CB
him on.
rule. I mean, that diagonal is going to be on. Oh, unlucky for Nick. Minneapolis City would like to thank Shell's Brewing, home of the iconic Grain Belt Premium. Shell's has a German craft brew perfect for any season. Available at bars, liquor stores, everywhere. Thank you, Shell's.
I'll tell you, John, I had a Shell's Notorious PILS just yesterday. Tasty summer lager.
How was it?
Their newest one. I may have had too many, but man, they tasted good going down.
With Shell's, it's hard to not have too many. Coach Oliver going early to the bench here?
Looks like he's talking to Andrew Heckenlabel. Heckenlabel's just into the Twin Cities from St. Louis University, where he's been playing. Prior to that, he was with Minnesota United's academy. Delivery from Pendleton. And that is definitely a foul. Nothing in it that time, but you can't do that.
Go to the book. Dirty soccer. No, nothing dirty in that. See that there's been another positional shift where Mena and CB Rule have changed sides.
Well, Prado
What a
changed.
ball.
Great ball there from Shaw. And then the cross, cross shot. Seemed like Shragi was at kind of two minds on that one as he fired it over.
I think he had more time than he thought. And there, maybe look at sneaking one near. I mean, actually, I think from that angle, it looks like he was actually trying to sneak one in.
Yeah. I think the key here is just to stay calm. There's a lot of time. Take advantage of the opportunities. Diana Sands that one out of bounds, and that's the type of patience that'll pay off.
I do feel like there's goals in this game for the Crows.
Kipnusu flick on. Bechtel can't quite challenge for that one. Kipnusu knocked by Para. Really nothing in it. That was a hands in the natural position type of thing. Kent wins it again. He's been huge today. I mean, he's huge every day.
Great ball.
Bechtel ball across. Kipnusu can't get there.
But again, like I was saying, that wasn't a diagonal ball, but you're going to start to see the wing backs for Coach Oliver getting more involved offensively on that back post. The CB Rule was the absolute right option for that.
I love that curling ball behind the defenders there.
It just causes so many problems. Even if it's like cleared out, it could have bad bounce, right?
Absolutely. And it puts the goalie in an interesting spot. Oh, Tawa, miscommunication with Mina. That's some of that early season confusion, unfortunately.
Great first touch by the caddy at the corner there, though.
No.
You want a caddy who maybe played in his day.
That one definitely did.
He sure did. A St. Thomas player. That's Miles Marmo, one of the founders of Noonan Golf, which is headquartered right here in the Twin Cities.
Nolan Meyer struggling with the sun there.
Yes, we have a flyover. Yeah. How'd you
Got
land
his
that one?
gloves in his eyes.
Well, we saw a goalkeeper with a baseball hat on in the FA Cup final. May have to bring one for Nolan Meyer. Getting a little bit of trouble there. He elects to clear, and he clears it long. Well, let's take this moment to say thank you to Twin Cities Orthopedics. Minneapolis City is in good hands with our longtime sports medicine partner, Twin Cities Orthopedics. With orthopedic urgent care open 7 days a week and a wide range of specialty services, you can achieve your goal of returning to your best. Learn more at tcomn.com.
Hideki Manu's wide open. Wide open. There he is.
Shaw over the top. Diana, really aggressive goalkeeping there. Really nice.
The ball's right from Shaw, but that should have happened.
You need to play that earlier, absolutely.
Yeah, that should have happened 5-6 touches before that. And I think that's probably something that Coach Oliver is gonna stress at halftime. I mean, I'm not trying to tell him to do his job here or anything, but the pace of play for Minneapolis City has to increase on how quickly they're transitioning from defense to offense.
Absolutely. And you can kind of see it here. You take too long and it allows RKC to get in their shell.
Well, and you're down a goal, so excuse me, if you have the opportunity to put the pedal down, do it.
Oh, 100%. Especially here as we get to the end of the first half. Craigie Long. Not much of a threat there.
Do a Be Real segment.
And that's where City's got to be careful, right? Unless that ball is totally on.
Yeah, just keep it. But we've seen it be on, and it's just a little bit too slow.
Yeah. Oh, and he can't find Shaw there. It's just out of bounds.
Great first touch, though.
Oh, and he's battling. Prado's on the ball.
Tawa's caught a little higher up.
And Prado's clear again. Garcia's tracking back. You know, I love how as they cut back that ball. Ooh, and Prado wins it. He charges in. Oh, that's a dagger. Prado finds a goal, beating Nolan Meyer. That's an RKC Third Coast goal in the 44th minute.
Absolutely not
Jaden
what
Prado.
you want. I mean, Garcia tried to step to pull him off sides, but that one maybe you want him to go in and try to actually play the ball.
Well, that was going to hurt City right before the end of the first half as they're down 2 goals, but up a man. So definitely not out of this one.
Guys, I think it's Dane.
But Jaden Prado, who has been so dangerous all game, finally made it show as he scored here right before
A lot of soccer.
the end of the first half.
Give him some of that Michael stuff at halftime.
Jung on the ball. He wins a throw-in off of Shragi. And RKC will take their time with the restart.
I don't know if you saw that, Tyler, but he did it.
With the 2-goal lead, RKC comfortable just dropping back into a low block, and I expect that's what we're going to see here as we get into the second half as well. Just protect the lead, manage your energy, and let the city center backs keep the ball. Shragi finds a Sibe Rule. His cross headed away by Obilo. Kent looking for Bechtel. And that's it for the first half. RKC Third Coast 2, Minneapolis City 0. A 90-second goal by John Wanschneider, who later on got sent off for his second bookable offense. But then Jaden Prado in the 44th minute made it 2-0 despite RKC down a man. So we're going to go into this second half with City down 2 goals, but with a man advantage, and still 45 minutes to turn it around.
Welcome back to Edor Nelson Field, USL2 soccer action. Your Minneapolis City Soccer Club versus RKC. Scoreline 2-0. I'm John Bisworm. That is the Dan Hudeman. We saw a lot of stuff in the first half, Dan. First minute goal by John Schneider.
Then he got sent off.
And then right before the death, 10 men against your 11. Prado scores the 44th minute goal, up 2-0. One of the keys to victory today was have the lead going into the second half.
But we meant for Minneapolis City.
Yes, clearly the Crows don't have that right now, but they do have the opportunity to make a couple decisions. So being up a man, what do you look at from a substitute perspective? Do you continue to try to build out of the back relatively slowly, which was what they tried to do in the first half, maybe some long ball, or do you try to maybe make some adjustments to get some players in who are a little bit maybe more tricky on the ball, move the pace a little bit more?
I mean, I think you got to really push the pace, and I think you got to think about, what you kind of build around it. You know, the interesting thing is, that the first goal, kind of early mistake, a little bit of jitters. Then the last goal, kind of a breakout where the bounces went the right way. The Crows are going to have some luck, but they're going to have to make it. And the longer they take, letting RKC get set up, get in a low block, the harder it's going to be for them to really find a breakthrough. Yeah,
I mean, I think the early goal has to happen, right? I mean, in the first 15, 20 minutes of this half, Minneapolis City has to get on the scoreline, or it's just going to be time wasting, slowing the pace down. It's going to be all the things that you watch in soccer when your team is losing.
Oh, and you hate.
You hate it. But when it's your team, you're like, oh, good job, guys. Way to kill the game out. So that's going to be happening. I feel that the substitutions are going to come for Coach Oliver. I think that if I know anything about him, he's going to be going for getting back in this game.
Yeah, well, I think you said it. The goal has to come early. That's going to give you belief. It's going to give you momentum. The longer this goes on, the easier it is just to kill the game. And, we saw RKC early already pretty comfortable taking their time any time there's a stoppage in play, really comfortable in a low block, and really comfortable on the ball. I mean, they know that they can bleed time off the clock. So, yeah, if I'm Coach Oliver, I'm thinking we got to get up and at them right away. The flip side, of course, if I'm RKC, I come out and, let's not do something stupid, boys. We get 5-10 minutes past the half, and this game is ours.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, if I'm RKC, I'm taking every second I can in this game. Like I said, you hate it when it's not your team, but you love it when it is yours. I mean, it's just the reality of the game. I think that one thing that we have going in our favor, Nolan Meyer's going to be looking in blazing sun. Diana is. I think what we saw a lack of was quality shots on target to actually put Diana to the test. We had maybe 2? I mean, it says 4 shots. I think maybe 2 were of substance. Yeah. I think you have to amp up, even if it means from 25, 20 yards out. I think you have to start testing him to make him make the saves. No,
I think you're right. And it's got to start early, right? Because that's going to set the tone for what we've got here in this second half. It's all to do for Minneapolis City. 2 goals down, but 1 man up. But we've already seen some moves here, John. So we've got a substitution for City. And it'll be something for us to talk about as we get going is Jared Hecht, the big man. He moves in up top.
Okay, so our substitution.
Looks like he came in for Andy Mina.
Number 7, Andrew Heckenleibel. For number 25, Andeki Mina. And then it looks as if we also had Jarek Hecht coming in for...
Looks like he came in for Bernard Asibe Rule.
For Bernard Asibe Rule.
Which pushed Shea Bechtel out wide.
Out wide. Thank you, Dan. So now you have 2 massive humans up top.
Yeah, that Hecht Kipnusu forward line is possibly the tallest we've ever had.
Check out the caddies at the corner presented by Noonan Golf. Big ups to Noonan Golf for helping us tee off the season and for making sure tonight's corner kicks are appropriately caddied. Check out their on-point golf apparel, hats, towels, and more at noonangolf.co.com.
On ball from Garcia, looking for Kipnusu. It falls to him. He's taken down by Diana, and that's an early penalty.
All right, here's how you get back into the game, boys. Now let's convert.
There's really no question about that one. Diana came out, but he was just a step too slow. And, John, you got to believe that the sun actually had something to do with it. He just took a little bit of a half step there. He lost the ball.
He had no idea where he was. Yep.
Looks like Jackson Kirsch is going to step up to take the penalty for Minneapolis City.
And this is the opportunity. If you could write the script, this is what Coach Oliver wants. I mean, we obviously have to convert this, but they scored in the first minute of the first half.
Kirsch fires, goal, Minneapolis City.
Jackson Kirsch in the 46th minute.
He buries the penalty that Preston Kipnusu won. That's how it feels to score an early goal. RKC knows it from the first half. City knows it from the second. It's 2-1. City with a man advantage. I think you got to say it's game on, John.
I have nothing to add to that, Dan. Took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, let's just hope we don't see a man sent off because the script has already been followed from the first half.
Yeah, we got to change that chapter. City does have one man on a yellow. That's Joey Tawa.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, folks. Forgot to mention at halftime. Joey Tawa picked up an early yellow card in the 8th minute. But Jackson Kirsch opens up his account.
Chrétien under real pressure from Knusu.
I've also seen substitute Jared Heck score multiple goals against us on this field. So now he's with us. So let's see if he can continue that form.
Fingers crossed. I used to hate watching his goals, but long throw there from RKC. Wow. But Ken sees it out.
Wow. That was something. That was like 40 yards.
Yeah.
I can throw this football over that mountain.
Kent with a long throw, not quite as long. Nice win there from Kirsch. Out to his direct teammate, Schragi.
I think in this half, you have to see a little bit of an adjustment from Joey Tawa. He's doing a lot of like connecting the short passes from the center backs, but so is Ian. Ian Schall's also looking for that.
And Schall finds Bechtel out wide. Bechtel's cross. Oh, can't quite find Hecht. Although it falls to the big man. His cross shot behind the goal.
But what you need, I mean, they're already only sending one person forward in Dunga. You don't need three center backs and then your defensive center midfielder and then your number 8, your true center midfielder, all on top of each other. I think there needs to be better spacing in the center there.
No, I think you're right. And it'll be interesting to see how Coach Oliver adjusts for that. Because both Tawa and Schall did have a lot of time there on the ball. You really only need one of them, like you said.
I don't know what I did to him.
Kipnusu working on Prado.
God, he's so hard to bring down.
Oh. Kipnusu looking for Hecht. That one was cut off by Chrétien at a stretch. That's a City corner kick.
Caddy on the corner, cleaning the ball off for Tawa.
I mean, that's important for aerodynamics and overall strategy.
Trajectories and whatnot.
Little chip shot shove, and it's a goal from Kipnusu!
There we go!
And that levels a score. Minneapolis City here in the 50th minute. We're just 5 minutes in, and that's 2 goals. Jackson Kirsch scoring the penalty after Kipnusu won it. Kipnusu burying the header after Joey Tawa. I think we got to give a big thanks to Noonan Golf there. It all came down to really the caddy helping make that happen. Towering header. He powered that past Diana in the RKC goal.
You know what? They deserve another sponsor read. Check out the caddies on the corner presented by Noonan Golf. Big ups to Noonan Golf for helping us with the ball there. Tee off the season and for making sure that tonight's corner kicks are appropriately caddied. And they were. Check out their on-point golf apparel, hats, towels, and more at NoonanGolfCo.com.
There's Anguille working on Schragi. RKC has to come out of their shell right now. What a battle. Anguille going hard at Tragi, who's unfazed there. But I think we're going to see a real change to this game.
I mean, we already have. The energy is at a maximum right now.
Absolutely. RKC can't stay deep, and you see now they're starting to move into more of a mid-block, but still down a man.
Here's what you don't want to go backwards. You want to keep the momentum going.
And you start to get right about here on the field. RKC's been doing a good job of, there we go, forcing City back, just lost the ball.
Just plugging up the passing lanes in general.
Bechtel intercepts that, finds Kirsch. Tawa loses out that battle to Anguil. Anguil's been battling.
Great step by Garcia.
You're right about the energy. Shaw, just over hits for Kirsch.
Problem is we don't want to get too excited about moving forward and lose track of the fact that Dunga has been extremely dangerous every time he's touched the ball.
And they're pushing Dunga and Anguil up high, out wide, which can put real pressure on that back three.
Good pressure by Garcia and Shaw.
Garcia with a back heel to Shaw to get out of that one.
Whatever Coach Oliver put in the water jug at halftime is working.
Knowing Justin Oliver, I would not have wanted to be in that dressing room at halftime down 2-0. Here's Heckenlabel on the ball for the first time today. Almost gets it back from Kirsch.
You saw what Kirsch wanted to do. But
Junga driving through.
We don't need him to go coast to coast here.
And Nick Kent bodies him. Great defending. Over the top for Hecht.
That was great 1v1 defending by Nick.
That really was. Junga just burst through the middle. Left 3 City players in his wake before Nick Kent came over.
I had just mentioned, like, he's their danger man offensively. Like, we cannot let that happen now that we're in the game again.
And you can see now they've been pushing, Dunga, Pendleton, and Anguil up to really put pressure on that back three. Looks like that was a foul on Diana's. He went to clear.
We were saying off air at halftime, Dan, that there's goals in this game for the Crows. And 2-2 in the 54th minute.
They came early. There's still a lot of time to play. RKC already adjusting. John, if you're Coach Oliver, what's your play here? Do you change anything or do you keep it rolling?
No, I actually get more direct, I think. With the opportunity you have afforded to you of having a pacey big man in Kipnusu and then an absolute bruiser in Hecht.
As Hecht is called off sides.
I think you get as direct as possible, especially so you can catch RKC in transition because once they get forward, they're going to be excited to the fact that they're up by or they're down a man and they're in the offensive third. As soon as you can transition through a more direct ball, you pin them back and you pin them back with numbers.
Dana wanted to Pendleton. And a little chip shot. Heckenlabel's able to head kind of away with Anguil there, who wins it. RKC still managing to look dangerous down a man.
So here's what I'm talking about. So they're essentially man for man with Kipnusu and Hecht. If we can win the ball here, it shouldn't be a side-to-side or backwards pass. It should be direct because look at how far out Diana is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing like a center back there.
Like, make him have to make a decision to do something crazy.
And a big win from Kipnusu. Kent looking for Hecht. Does Hecht have the pace for Chrétien? Not quite. Chrétien back to Diana.
Honestly, see what I'm saying there? Like,
quick ball, put him under pressure. You're right, John.
Exactly. And also, if I'm Nick Kent, I have the green light from the parking lot to chip him. I don't make the pass. I put that on goal.
It's a long ball, kind of looking for Anguil. Meyer is able to get it, and it's back to Kent. That would be quite the
way to go up 3-2.
Yeah, Nick Kent chip job.
He clearly has gotten direction to be more of a sweeper keeper. So why not? And the sun's not out anymore. It's behind a dorm.
Shaw a little bit too direct there, looking for Kirsch. Better option may have been the diagonal Heckenlabel.
The sun's not there, but if a goalkeeper's out on his 20, 25-yard line, make him pay.
Kirsch wins that, and then Tawa gets played into trouble, battles, but he can't keep it.
Nice move.
A lot of quality from RKC. I've been really impressed by their players. Nice win by Shragi. Finds Tawa. He is really bad tackle by Pinto there, and that is about as a deserved yellow as we've seen since Von Schneider got sent off.
So Luis Pinto, yellow card in the 57th minute.
That was late and that was high. A little bit of frustration showing from the away side there.
I mean, I've always been one to go into a nice meaty challenge, but I don't think that was necessary there.
Not necessary there, no.
I fully understand his aggression into the tackle, but there, maybe you want to pull it back to second gear there.
Well, you know, we still have a lot of game to be played, and it's really finely balanced right now, this game, despite RKC being down a man.
Here's where you want to continue to press forward.
We got Heckenlabel wide for Shragi, Kirsch in the middle. He turns back to Tawa. Puts it over the top for Heckenlabel. Heckenlabel working on Amand. Amand, nice one-on-one defending there. Hacked away to Kent. And City are going to start again. Oh, miscommunication with Garcia and Bechtel there. Luckily, Shaw could clean it up. Still having a little bit of that early season cohesion, and, you know, if we only have a couple of training sessions, that'll happen.
Siri's popping in on the broadcast here.
Garcia looking across the back for Heck. Diana, again, that's great goalkeeping. Really control your box there. And to your point, John, I think that just shows City's going to have to move a little bit faster.
I think you're also going to get an opportunity here for a 1v1 situation at some point in the second half for a player to watch. Shea Bechtel on that corner. He did move from partnering with Kipnusu in the first half over to out wide. I think his energy and his pace, there's absolutely going to be an opportunity for him to go at. I don't know who's their left back. Is that
they've got Obilo out left?
Looks like there was a sub made, number 3. We don't, it's Amand. We haven't gotten quite the information level we're used to here from the touchline. We'll try to see if RKC did make a substitution.
Looks like perhaps more of a formation change, John.
Oh, well, I stand corrected. Oh.
Bechtel under a lot of pressure from Junga.
Yeah, I mean, he's dangerous. We have to be very mindful of where he's at and the little pockets of space he's getting into.
Absolutely. He finds Pendleton. Pendleton looking wide. RKC are on the attack here. That's Pinto. They do such a good job of keeping the ball, right? Very, very calm, even under pressure. That was Parra driving through. Hecht gets the ball at his feet for the first time. Kipnusu closed on so fast. That was Pendleton tracking back.
Ow. Went down pretty easy.
If I was RKC, I'd be closing on Kipnusu immediately once he even got a sniff of the ball.
I'd also be going down every time it was touched. Great pressure.
Great pressure. That leaves Parra free, though. Bechtel wins it off of Pendleton, but Garcia gives
Garcia
it right
just-
back.
Those are the types of waste that we don't need right now. Great save by
Great
Meyer.
save by Meyer. Kent is there to clean up, too. That looks like a dangerous ball. RKC with a great spell here. City really needs to get back control. Kipnusu, great hold up. And the 1-2 with Shaw just a little bit far for Hecht, especially with Diana playing so
if
far
Heck
out.
was paying attention, he's in on goal there.
I mean, that's where Diana's ability and willingness to play so high is such an advantage to RKC. Over the top to Junga.
Track back here.
Junga working across the front. His shot's in.
Nolan Meyer with
the
bobbles
save, but he
it.
bobbles it. Then he makes the save again. That was, whoo. Pendleton was right there, shot right into Meyer's face.
So substitutions coming on from Minneapolis City. Looks like Tomas Mena is coming in for Joey Tawa. Oh, does a little spin, almost falls over. Tomas Mena plays his college soccer here at Edor Nelson Field for Augsburg University. The guy's a bottle of energy, Dan.
And such a nice guy. Hecht heads away. Hard to get past his big dome. But we've got a long throw here, although Pendleton plays it short and quick to Parra. It's back to Pendleton, who keeps it in. Parra finds Pinto. These midfielders, they've had a great game, both of them. Goes long, looking for Anguille. Again, RKC keeping the ball really well despite being up or being down a man.
I mean, right now, I think City's just kind of covering passing lanes, right? You know, instead of putting 100% of pressure on. So you will get those bouts of possession.
Ball into Garcia, finds Hecht. What's he going to do with the ball? He's getting pressure now. Heckenlabel in a lot of space on the left. Ball finds Schraga behind him. Ian Shaw picks his head up. Maybe overhits it because Diana's so close there, but that's what we really need to do. Heckenlabel gets booked for that. That was a thing.
No.
That seemed just about right. Diana with the knee up. Heckenlabel can't really stop. A foul, sure, but
I don't know about a yellow card there, but it is
picks
what it
it up
is.
in the
64th
64th.
minute. Not a lot you can ask a guy to do there to try to immediately stop on turf.
Right.
Yes, he ran into the goalie. The goalie hit his knee up, though, fully protected.
yeah, it didn't seem like there was much in it. I think the bigger thing is you're starting to see Ian Shaw get to know the Edor Nelson Field, the dimensions, the turf a little bit. Because he's been a little bit direct, a little bit, over the top, and needs to have a little more angle on those balls. It's a different surface than he's used to playing at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I would say so. Great step.
Bechtel working hard on Prado. Pendleton keeps that in again.
Pendleton's good. Like even that ball he just hit right there.
Yeah, it's hard to find a weakness in this RKC team. Heckenlabel jumps on it. That was nice work from the winger.
If I'm Parra, I'm not necessarily going to press that high, being down a guy.
Nick Kent, look at that dummy. Heckenlabel again in space on the left. Shaw driving forward. Heckenlabel again in space. Going over the top for Kipnusu and Hecht. But
There's a ton of yellow shirts unmarked here.
Jungo Kent steps in. He's been exceptional today.
Nice ball by Jonah Garcia.
That was really nice. Mena can't quite get it to Bechtel, unfortunately.
Good work by Tomas. Like, how many guys can throw a wing at that one before someone gets it? With a wide open Hecken label here.
I mean, it's interesting to think, right? Some of the substitutions were made. Nice layoff for Hecht. Wide to Hecken label.
But again, Dan, like what we're finding is that it's slow to get the
Hecken label dancing around the ball. Sends Anguille. Look at that ball for Mena. Diana out very fast. Great goalkeeping.
The thing is, like, we're seeing open players, and it's 4, 5, 6 touches, maybe 2, 3 passes before they get it. It's got to be quicker.
You put some of that down to early season. Ball goes out to Junga. Oh, for the first time this game, his touch escapes him.
His only bad touch of the game so far.
I've been accused from time to time of being a homer, but you have to look at this RKC team and exceptional players. They've been fun to watch, except for a minute at the beginning of the first half and at the end of the second. What quality! This is a team that's recruited well. Diagonal finding Hecken label. That's what we've been talking about. That was a great ball by Kirsch. Hecken label getting past Anguille. Cuts across. Nice work from Amon to cut that out. It's another city corner. And we'll see what the caddy on the other side can do here this time.
Yeah, he's pulling out the rangefinder.
It's important to know just how far you have to go.
It's literally the same distance every time, Dan. I mean, different players are different distances, but the kick...
Look, sometimes the cup is near the front of the green, sometimes near the back. This one's long. Kent heads. Save, Diana.
Now it's back quick in the transition. Mark up the yellow shirts. I think what Coach Oliver has done is he's moved his formation into being Ian Shaw and Jackson Kirsch sitting together next to each other in front of the back line, and then Tomas Mena as more of like a false 9 in behind Preston Kipnusu and Jared Hecht.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Both Kirsch and Shaw have a great range of passing, great creativity for both Notre Dame, where Shaw plays, and Drake, where Kirsch plays. They're attacking midfielders playing that 10 role. But RKC's on the ball.
I think what it does, too, is it gives you energy with Mena, like what you can see right now, like fresh legs, and he's a willing presser in there in the middle. But also he has the offensive abilities as kind of a traditional striker to be able to get forward.
Pendleton going to work. Good cutout there by Schrage. That was important because, you had Anguille just lurking there. It's a dangerous position. And that's the first bad touch we've seen from
I'm not going to call
Pendleton today.
I'm not going to call it a bad touch. Like, what's a guy supposed to do with that?
Well, we've seen him earlier do more with less.
Yeah.
Kipnusu tries to find Hecht. I don't know that Hecht has the pace for that ball. Schrage under pressure from Anguille, finds Meyer.
What are your thoughts on Schrage?
I think he's had a great game today.
Schrage. We'll get that right for next
First of all, I'm going to learn how to say his last name. I think ton of energy. He's made a number of critical blocks.
Yeah, positioning.
And we've seen him, be able to key the offense. He's not afraid to be on the ball. Heck throwing his body around. Ooh, that was a good cutout there. You had Bechtel and Garcia. Chrétien gets in front of Hecht.
Great composure by Shaw. I've been really impressed with Shaw in his first appearance with the Crows.
I'd agree. Nice ball finding Kipnusu. He chests it down. Oh, almost. Mena not quite close enough either. And that's going to be a foul on Kipnusu.
It's going to be a little bit of a talking to.
I mean, both going for that. Diana, great hop, actually. He picked that right off of his toe. Brave goalkeeping. John, one of the things we saw at the beginning of the half was substitutions to get those goals back. The goals have gotten back. The game has started to change. You went from Kipnusu and Pacey Bechtel up top to Hecht and Kipnusu. Mm-hmm. As you start to see this game evolve, you talked about where Mena is positioned. If you're Coach Oliver, what do you think you need now? Like, what kind of adjustments might you make?
Looking at the roster here, you already made moves for pace out wide.
Looking at really quick, we've got a double substitution here, and we have.
I'm going to answer your question here in a second.
Sure, Luis Pinto comes off, and also number 2, Jaden Prado, the goal scorer, is off, and we've got number 14, Santiago Marin, who's going to come in. Looks like he's come in for Pinto, and then the man on the ball right now, number 15, Michael Anderson. So got a new mix here in the midfield. Kipnusu gets taken up by Diana.
Another penalty.
That's another penalty. Absolutely nailed on. He only gets a yellow there, John, because they changed the rule for my day. Back in my day, that would be a red card and the penalty. Now they don't want to double punish, although that was pretty brutal, you've got to say. And it's another penalty opportunity here for Minneapolis City.
That's what you call in the business a no-doubter. To go back to what you were saying, I think depending upon what happens here, you potentially look at bringing on the futures graduate Elijah Fearing to have maybe some just youthful energy and pace, and then you move someone like Jared Hecht back into a defensive role to try to clean up maybe some of that long ball.
Sure.
Jackson Kirsch stepping up for the double. Already one penalty today.
Kirsch
And
almost saved by
buries
Diana,
it.
but that is a goal. Kirsch with his second goal in his debut. It is 3-2 Minneapolis City. We're flying.
And here's the thing. I don't think that there's ever been anyone who's scored a double on their debut, has there, Ben?
I don't think so.
Welcome to the club. Jackson Kirsch.
Kirsch, you've got to have absolute ice in your veins to bury 2 penalties, especially on a goalkeeper as good as that. So all credit to him. But Kipnusu, nonstop, all action. What a debut for him. He's not going to be on the score sheet like Kirsch, but none of this happens without him.
Absolutely. I'll go back to the penalty there. I think that, even though Kirsch went down the middle, the pace he put on it, knowing Diana was probably going to pick a direction. So now I think, going back to what we talked about, Dan, the adjustments that have to come, maybe you look at bringing in an Otis Anderson, who's more of that composed central midfielder, who can also defend well, former college center back. You look at bringing Hecht back, maybe. There's a lot that Coach Oliver can do here.
Over the top there, Chrétien in a little bit of a trouble with Hecht there. Diana quick to come and scoop up.
I think regardless of what you choose to do here, I think the number one thing is just don't be complacent with the 3-2 and start to sit back, because there's such individual talent. I mean, look right there.
Well, that was a nice move from Anderson on Shaw.
There's such individual talent on this RKC roster that any one of them can break you down. I mean, we're seeing it right now again with Armand here.
Yeah, Armand doing great work. Mena, got all ball, but it's called for a foul there on Armand. Sorry, and I said it was Michael Anderson. That's actually Brett Perkins.
Classic Brett.
Classic Brett. I mean, he's another one. Good on the ball, quick, tricky. This is a dangerous spot for this free kick here.
I mean, all due respect, RKC 3 years in a row bringing in quality talent. Like, that's what you want to see from a conference mate.
Absolutely. Pendleton over the ball. He swings one in, won by Kent, and that'll be out for a throw. Long throw finds Para. He's pushed back.
We're going to have to get the historians on the case to see if Kirsch is the first ever, has the first ever brace in his debut.
Doing a nice work. There's Anguille. Anguille centering. Nick Kent, as always, is there, but the ball is back to Anguille, who's working on Heckenlabel.
Totally covered by Meyer.
So our resident stats man and feature writer, Kyle Eliason, tells us that he believes that the brace is the first. We may have to check on Brandon By. I believe he had a goal and 2 assists in his debut, but the New England Revolution man, and Kepnusu's waved offside there. That was
razor thin.
Razor thin.
Who's Brandon By? Hey, guys, look. Do you want to look your best with the only barber you should trust in Minneapolis? Twin Cities Barber Co., locally owned and operated in the heart of South Minneapolis, offers quality services that'll have you looking your best and feeling your best. Treat yourself to a traditional barbershop with modern style and make an appointment today at tcbarberco.com.
You know, I go there, John. I'm going there on Monday. I'm going to see Kyle. I would recommend for anyone looking to look good, which is all of us if you think about it.
I don't have any hair, so I have a beard, though.
Yeah, you can get a beard trim.
I think what I'll do is this winter I'm going to grow it nice and long, and then I'm going to go there and have them start to shape it for me.
Thomas Mena jumps in. Ooh, that was a tough one off of Almond.
God, this guy's
working hard on Shraga.
This guy's dangerous.
Shraga, great defending there.
Everybody back.
It's going to be an RKC corner, and I think you're right. You can't take your foot off the pedal. Nerves start to
they have quality.
Set in, and, yeah, they do have the quality. They've got some guys warming up there on the sidelines. You get some fresh legs.
It's as though as if Associate Coach Flintham is giving instructions to Otis Anderson, and then you have Andrew Holmes and Elijah Fearing also getting ready.
Heck clears that corner. Not past the first man, although he's a mountain of a man.
I do know this fun fact. If Elijah Fearing does make his first appearance with the first team today, he will be the second high school player to make his senior debut for Minneapolis City.
Who was the first, John?
Ian Smith. What's up, Steve?
Ian Smith is back in America after Shaw runs into trouble, but Garcia is there to clean it up. Ian Smith's back in America after finishing his professional career. He was at Oppsal IK in Norway, I believe. Mena. Oh, and that's called back as a foul.
Watch the quick one. Resident writer Kyle Eliason screaming in the booth.
As are the fans, but I love how Kyle's getting into it.
It's like Otis Anderson is making way. Ian Shaw's making way at number 8. Ian Shaw for number 5, Otis Anderson.
And that does look to add a little bit of steel there. I thought Shaw's had a great game. What a debut for him.
Yep.
Anderson's going to bring some size and physicality.
Yeah. If I'm Coach Oliver, in the next 3 minutes, I'm moving one up top, and I'm bringing one of my huge strikers back to win balls like that.
Long ball finds Amon on the right with Heckenlabel tracking. Power fires wide. Handball. Oh, that's a great ball. Finds Pendleton. Pendleton shot. Oh, he finishes.
Dang it.
That's a RKC goal here in the 81st minute by Nick Pendleton to make it 3-3. I think that's what you're talking about, John. You take your foot off the gas against a side this talented, and unfortunately, that's the type of thing that can happen.
I mean, this Pendleton is good all day. That's a quality, tidy finish.
Well, we got 10 minutes of regulation left as the Crows kick off. This is a 3-3 game here. City up one man after John Wanschneider got sent off in the 33rd minute for his second bookable offense.
We should get in contact with the people from Ghost Energy. I bet the Crows could get some like creatine.
Okay, sitting back, giving Kirsch some time. He finds Kip Nusu. Oh, the flag for offsides. Not a lot in that, if you ask me, but Mena was able to get his shot cleared off the line anyway. RKC taking their time on the restart, as you do in a situation like this, down a man, just a few minutes left to play.
We need a car wash sponsor, dude. That'd be hilarious.
Hecht wins that ball off of Amon, and he turns to go forward. He's got the wind at his back. Amon, great defending. Diana can't get across to save the corner, though. So we'll have our corner caddies see if they can't work their magic here again.
Third time's the charm, Dan.
So I've heard.
Is Kirsch on this one? Yeah, Kirsch on the ball.
Oh, and that's over, somehow eluding just about everybody except for Otis Anderson.
Oh,
He tries to dance around.
No.
He can't. Now here's the break from RKC. Sharky pushes Michael Anderson out, but the ball's in quickly to Perkins and then back to that man Para.
Yeah, Sydney's not let off the pedal here.
And Guil's free out wide. He's got a minute. Nice ball to Junga, who shoots wide. That was
That's too close for comfort, Dan.
far too close for comfort. Junga has been excellent all day. He's going to want that one back. That was a miss hit in a great position. Garcia looks long for Hecht. Nice touch for the big man, but Chrétien is able to see that ball out. And we're going to have another double substitution from RKC. Junga's coming off. Good shift for him. And then also Pendleton is coming off.
Two really quality players for RKC.
We'll have Mitchell Goodman come on there for Pendleton. And then up top, Antonio Delgado is going to take the place
Here's that transition we got to worry about.
of Junga. And he gets out there quick, but not quick enough.
I can sometimes, but that's because you're down here.
Oh, boy. Let's not be dumb in the back here.
Now that's unfortunate.
See, the momentum has shifted into RKC's favor after that goal. I think that Minneapolis City has to really dig deep here to figure out how to get it back.
Ball goes wide to Amon. He keeps it in. He's working on Heckenlabel. Finds Para. Otis Anderson is there. Good defending.
Oh, my God. 400 pounds of flesh right there going for a header.
I mean, unfortunately, that's a problem with the two big men. You know, they're both kind of drawn to the same balls into the same space.
Yeah.
Over the top there to Delgado, but Kent is there.
Finds Anderson.
Anderson going over the top for Kipnusu. This isn't the prettiest, but Shretien beats out Kipnusu.
I think Tomas
Mena
got
gets-
not wait for that.
I mean, Anguilla is quick. And, yeah, he gets there in front of Mena. You can't let that happen in a game like this. Delgado finds Anguilla. Heckenlabel cuts it out.
I think what Coach Oliver's got to get back to is like the thunder and lightning kind of approach to the front line. I think right now you have kind of two of the same.
Yeah, it was a good ball there, but Garcia is able to defend well, and it finds Bechtel. Not a lot of options. So he looks for Kipnusu. Shretien. And we're going to have a substitution here.
And I was correct. Elijah Fearing making his first team debut, replacing the goal scorer in the 50th minute, Preston Kipnusu. It looks like Elijah is going to go out wide, and then Shea Bechtel is going to go back up top. So that's kind of what I was alluding to. You mentioned it earlier, though, but like the one and the same.
Fearing taken down. Oh,
I mean, you love the advantage there.
yeah, you may have wanted that advantage. That's nice work from the young man.
But you know what I mean? Like you mentioned it. You're kind of getting the same ball to the same guy, and they're drawn to it. But now you wish you had him back. But let's see if Big Jared Heck can get on this. I don't know if that's 10 yards away.
Kirsch doesn't think so. Driven ball.
Oh, boy.
Falls to Nick Kent. A little bit of a nosebleed up that far. Nice ball into Hecht!
Oh, what a save by
Great
Diana.
save as he comes across, and RKC are breaking out.
There's a lot of white shirts back, though.
That was a game saver there.
Fearing did a great job.
And that's a foul. Kirsch on Delgado.
I mean, that's a smart tactical foul by Kirsch.
He's going to get a yellow card there. You would have loved to see that earlier on Wanschneider, the 2 times he did that before he got sent off. But that was a phenomenal save there from Diana there with Heck lurking.
He had to make it. What I'd like to see, though, out of RKC here is that they're not just content in getting the 1 point on the road here. They're pushing for it. I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very strong team. City, of course, still have to go to Pritchard Park in Racine, Wisconsin, and they'll do that at the end of the season, which kind of sets up a nice bookend here.
Yep.
Strikey looking for Garcia a little bit over him.
Finds
Garcia keeps
Bechtel.
it in with Bechtel. They get out, and Bechtel just fires wide.
That was player to watch magic right there. Oh, no. Fans, be sure to make your plans this season for a post-game party. Each and every game at the Corner Bar in Seven Corners. Friends of the Murder get deals on shells, pints, and pitchers. And don't forget to try their almost famous Joey Wings. Yes, good win by Otis Anderson.
Anderson quickly up for Hecht, finding Fearing.
Young man, let's see what he's got here.
Oh, and he drives into the box. Shretien, veteran move there, just using his body. That was nice stuff from Fearing.
Here's the thing. You don't see the guile, I guess you could say, to take on a guy with that intent from a high school player. Like Elijah
Yeah.
Fearing is a special player. He's going to be going off to Drake University next year, playing with a number of these players. So if you think about it, like how great it is for a high school senior to be in this environment and be able to kind of get the one up on the rest of the class he's coming in with by playing with people like Kirsch and Knipsu.
I mean, you can't be better prepared for that first day of training.
Yeah, they already know your name.
I mean, that's half the battle.
And I said Knipsu, not Kipnusu.
Kirsch finding Fearing.
Unlucky.
Just, a little foot on the ball. Big win by Kent there. Finds Kirsch. Kent City breakout. Heckenlabel slips, but he's back on the ball.
I think Menda's got to go join him.
Oh, you would have loved to see him a little bit closer there. We are into stoppage time here.
We don't have an indicator on what it is.
The indicator is that there is some stoppage time.
Time?
A minimum of time that's on stoppage. Hecht can't quite push his way through there. And Diana's going to take all the time he can. He's on a yellow, but this referee has not been happy with the second yellow card. And in a case like that, rightly so.
I mean, not a bad ball.
Just runs past Anguille.
That's kind of time wasting there. Put your foot through it. Just get it up there.
Oh,
freeway ball.
Not quite.
Not quite. Fearing.
Nice win from Fearing. Fearing gets yanked down by Brett Perkins. You know, you've got to say that RKC have definitely taken advantage in a very Pep Guardiola-esque, let's just go ahead and take the yellow card to stop the attack. That maybe goes to that guile you talk about, but I got to be honest, John, it's not my favorite part of the game.
It's not, but 3 minutes of stoppage. But we're in the third minute right now, so you have to believe this might be the last kick of the game, or it's coming up pretty soon here.
Kirsch over the ball. Oh, and Heck can't keep it in. Diana's going to milk this one. You've got to give RKC credit for the fight back when they were down a goal.
Yeah, I got not just because I'm from Wisconsin, but I have mad respect for RKC just from the quality they bring in and how they play.
And that's it. You're right. That's the final whistle there. That's ends 3-3.
So we're going to take a quick break. Dan and I are going to collect our thoughts, try to figure out all these yellow cards, red cards, and goals scored, and we'll be right back to you guys in a few minutes. Please stay with us.
For the Pros, Kirsch in the 47th and 74th, Kepnusu in the 50th.
Welcome back to Edor Nelson Field. John Bisworm here. Pardon me for a second. Seasonal allergies here in the Twin Cities is a real thing. John Bisworm here with the Dan Hudeman. 3-3 draw. Half-blood drawn. RKC versus Minneapolis City. We'll get into the statistics here in a second. But for me, Dan, number one, first and foremost, the Crows level a little bit the teeter-totter and gain a point against RKC, who they've never drawn points against.
0 points. I think the closest previous has been a 2-goal loss. So, to be able to start this season with a bunch of new guys with only 2 training sessions on your belt and get a result like this against a team that's consistently good, huge, huge result for Coach Oliver and Coach Flintham. I think if, we talked about the beginning, what happens with an offseason and a preseason together, we're starting to see that right now.
Yep,
we wouldn't have gotten this in
absolutely.
previous years.
Absolutely. So we're going to get into the statistics here in a second. There's a lot to unpack before we get into Dan and I's player of the match and then ultimately our final thoughts. If you're going from one side to the other, we'll start with RKC. In the first minute, I'm going to call him Von Schneider.
I think you should.
I think the W is a V in this case. John Von Schneider, first minute goal, ultimately gets a yellow card in the 9th minute, and then probably should have had 3 more yellow cards, but Alton got his second in the 33rd, getting sent off, bringing RKC down into a 10-man situation. Then you had a yellow card in the 57th minute, a yellow card in the 73rd minute, and a yellow card in the 92nd minute, but you had goals that kind of came into that, and the 44th minute by Jaden Pardo, and then in the 81st minute by Nick Pendleton, who, if I'm calling a man of the match for the other team, I think it was him.
I thought Pendleton was great all game long. It was an interesting game, right? Like if you look at Von Schneider, the guy played basically a whole game stats-wise in 30 minutes. A goal, 2 yellow cards, 2 that should have been yellow cards.
That's a gentleman's hat trick right there. A goal and 2 yellow cards.
Look, if you're only going to play a half hour, you may as well make every minute count, and I think you can say that he did. But it changed the game when he went off.
Absolutely. For your home side, there was an early yellow card in the 8th minute by Joey Tawa, and then ultimately not much happened in the rest of the first half. Come the second half, the script changed. In the first minute of the second half, Preston Kipnusu brought down in the box, and Jackson Kirsch finishes his first penalty kick in the 46th minute. Yellow cards that followed, Andrew Heckenleibel got a yellow card in the 64th, and then Jackson Kirsch got his in the 88th. But then in the 74th minute, in the 50th minute, Preston Kipnusu brought us level again.
Towering header.
And then in the 74th minute, on a Preston Kipnusu drawn penalty for the second time, Jackson Kirsch finishes for the double, which we slightly confirmed is the first ever brace by a debutant for Minneapolis City. So, Dan, if we're talking about before we get into who we think was our player of the match, I think we need to talk a little bit about what we saw from both sides collectively. I personally, and you can agree or disagree with me, I saw in RKC's side a lot of individual bright moments for players, not maybe a collective unit of just an individual bright spot. Going forward in numbers, I thought a lot of it was individual, and man, do they have talent individually. For Minneapolis City, I saw more of a collective, cohesive unit, looking maybe get the lion's share of the possession, move the chess pieces around, and then try to attack. What do you think about that?
I think you're right. And what I would say maybe in RKC's defense is the game state changed after 30 minutes with the sending off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was pretty impressed with how they were able to switch from kind of like the low block defending to, once City was level and once City was ahead, they were able to go back on the attack again. They scored 2 goals against City, a man down, and they did it with a ton of individual quality. Or just, you get 2 guys working together, typically out of a long ball that found someone, and, they've just recruited well. And I think you're right there. It'll be interesting to see when we see them at the end of the season, just what happens, because I'd love to see how City was really intentionally moving the ball. It was quite clear that Coach Oliver and Coach Flintham have put in place a really clear way to play. And, the more that you get guys who are used to it, I think the more effective it's going to be.
And then you think of players like Jake Swallen, 4-year starter at Wake Forest, not here today. You think of
Joe
Highfield, Morgan Olson from the Portland Pilots. Like there's quality that we still have coming in. Last thing of note, Elijah Faring, we mentioned on the broadcast, but just to call it back, the second ever high school player ever to feature, and not a high school player featuring for the first team in Minneapolis City since our debut season in 2016 with Ian Smith, and came on and like no fear.
None at all. Driving in the box on a couple occasions, and if it wasn't for that Matisse Chrétien who comes out of the Montreal MLS Academy, that was some veteran guile to be able to just push him off the ball there. I think we could have seen something really magical for the high school senior.
Absolutely. Well, I see the man that we're going to talk about here who walking away with the Citizens Player of the Match hardware, but who was our player of the match tonight, Dan?
It had to be Preston Kipnusu. Scores a goal, wins 2 penalties on his debut, always dangerous, working hard up top. A great mix of pace and power, technical ability, and he just pushed us on. And I say that when we had Jackson Kirsch who scored a brace.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to beat that for man of the match.
Right, and looked dangerous all game. He was great with the ball. I thought Ian Shaw really kind of probing with the ball, and Nick Kent doing Nick Kent things. But Kipnusu just kind of level up for me.
Yep, absolutely. So once again, 3-3 draw. Half-blood drawn for Minneapolis City and RKC. 10 shots to 9 in favor of RKC, but the goals were level. We'd like to thank our sponsor of the day, teeing off the home opener, Noonan Golf. Thank you so much for the caddies at the corners. We know it worked for one of them.
It sure did.
Preston Kipnusu's header. We'd like to thank Twin City Orthopedics. We'd like to thank Co-Create, Shell's Brewing Company, Twin City Barber Lounge, Bryant Lake Bowl. Who am I forgetting, Dan?
Twin Cities Orthopedics.
I said them. Say them twice.
Shell's Brewing.
Shell's Brewing. Say them again. If we missed any sponsors, we're sorry. We'll get better. It's early season for us, too. Once again, I'm John Bisworm. That is the Dan Hudeman. 2 co-founders, 1 booth. Thanks for joining us.